August 2020. Good afternoon to you wherever you are, and welcome to the Midday News on Pan-African Television. We're live in our studios at Belengpe, Swanika Street of Accra. We're live on Facebook at Pan-African Television, and of course, streaming live across 32 African countries via satellite. My name is Abban. Now let's take a look at our headlines. Now coming up, Electoral Commission ends two-day mop-up exercise. Still coming up, 2020 polls, NDC inaugurates Northern Regional Campaign Team. Still on our local front, a poor widow cries for justice in Saboba. And on our business front, global credit ratings upgrades Fidelity Bank's national scale. And on international, Portuguese Communist Party condemns dismissal for over 1,000 public school workers. Now these and many other stories coming up shortly. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Alright, so welcome back, and the news in detail. Now, the Electoral Commission of Ghana has ended the two-day mop-up exercise as a follow-up for the official 37-day voter registration to ensure a credible register for the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections. The main exercise started on June 30th and officially ended on August 6th this year in 33,367 polling stations, which was done in 6 phases, with each phase assigned 6 days for eligible applicants to register.
The Electoral Commission later gave additional 2 days after the main exercise to help registrants who couldn't register to do so. This was followed by the 2-day mop-up exercise on Saturday, August 8 to Sunday, August 9, 2020 at the various district offices of the Electoral Commission across the country. This was part of their constitutional mandate to give opportunity to every eligible voter to register and vote in the upcoming elections. The Commission projected to register a total of 15 million citizens, but a little over 16.6 million were registered on the last day of the 37-day exercise.
Well, you do know that the voter registration exercise has ended. The 2-day mop-up exercise, given by the EC has ended, and following up on the 37-day voter registration exercise. Well, this is to ensure persons or citizens who did not get opportunity to register to engage themselves in the voter registration exercise. We'll be speaking to our correspondent from the Brong-Ahafo region and, of course, Central region to paint a picture to us, or better still, make it understand or engage us in the voter registration exercise. I mean, specifically the 2-day voter registration exercise that the EC added up to. And so we are ready. Let's speak to Abdel Basit, who happens to be the Brong-Ahafo correspondent, specifically in the Techiman. Hello, Abdel. Hello, Abdel. Hello, Abdel. Good afternoon to you.
Hello?
Yeah, Abdel, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to Midday News on Pan-African TV.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Now we do know that the 2-day, mop-up exercise given by the EC has ended. Now paint a picture to us of exactly what actually emerged during this 2-day, added days for the registration.
Yes, the exercise mop-up, to be precise, scheduled on Saturday at the District Electoral Commission office in Techiman, the national capital of the Bono East region.
Okay.
The first day went on successfully with 110 people registering.
110 people?
Which was yesterday, so 117 people registering. But unfortunately, the exercise yesterday wasn't as smooth as that of Thursday.
Right.
There were some recorded incidents where some well-known staff belonging to the New Patriotic Party stormed the district registration center in Techiman and subjected some people to beating. The military had to intervene. For the details of what actually happened yesterday, I have the Deputy NDC Committee Officer for the Techiman South constituency, who happened to be the NDC party agent at the mop-up exercise yesterday.
Right.
Rema is with me here, popularly known as Alaska, to give you detailed account of actually what transpired yesterday. From the registration center yesterday. Expect some people to attack and beat him. Mr. Rema is with me here.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, so we are in the know that some violence characterized the Techiman, certain police station when the 2-day mop-up exercise was ongoing. Can you talk to us? What exactly happened? And what accounts can you give us?
Thank you very much. Let me use this opportunity to greet my parliamentary candidates and
right.
What happened was that yesterday we were there when one guy came. He's a partner. It's a partner guy.
Okay.
That the sisters were able to register. So he's going to bring them to register. So he brought them. So immediately he brought them. Then the guy said, why is he back and people to explain? So no, it's not, but he said that the sister, she couldn't register. So he challenged those ladies. Immediately the guy just came, he called their hooligan. That the guy is passing people from Ibrapa. I don't know, they're in the plan here. They got their house number. Why do you do that? And they started beating the guy. Really? They're beating the guy. These people don't we started the registration. They have been beating, they even beat the organizer, beat the woman organizer, to the extent of beating the Gaddafi youth chairman. That's what they've been doing this man here. So this is not the first time. It is a continuous process. Yesterday, I need to be the intervention of the district to not be a problem.
But what I want to know is that have you reported these incidents to the security service?
Yes, for the past we've been reporting the police. So the guy
and what has been the response?
Since we've been reporting issues to you, you have not arrested anybody. But the commander was saying that if they have not arrested anybody, doesn't mean that they won't arrest. So it is very less that they arrest the person to arrest. So we are also waiting to see if they arrest. If they don't do that, our people to stack up, it will be a different thing. We have created President Kwaku to tell his people that what they are doing is mine. In fact, the people are fed up now. And they are also prepared to retaliate. So whatever they do and anything happens, they will.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your time. So that was all right. So that he happens to be the Bronga Hafo regional correspondent for Pan-African TV, specifically in Techiman. We'll be moving on to the central region. We'll be in conversation with Afo Williams. Hello, Afo, if you're here, talk to me. Okay, so we'll be talking to Afo Williams, who happens to be the Central Regional Correspondent for Pan-African Television, to also give us an account of exactly what has characterized, the specific polling station that was supposed to, engage in the 2-day mop-up exercise that EC gave out clear. So if we have him on the line, Afo Williams, if you can hear me, good afternoon to you. Hello, Afo.
Yes, please.
Yes, Comrade, good afternoon to you and welcome to the Midday News.
Good afternoon so much, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Right. So we want to find out specifically from you, how did the 2-day mop-up exercise, the EC?
Currently, the central region do call on us precisely at the EC's office.
Okay, all right. So, like I'm saying, paint a picture to us of what exactly or what happened in some specific police station that was supposed to engage in the 2-day mop-up exercise, given out by the Electoral Commission.
Actually, Central Region has been one of the peaceful places when this electoral process started. Though there's been a lot of losses, but Central Region and where I am currently has been so peaceful.
Okay.
I went to the EC's office to speak to him about how many electors were they actually looking at to register.
Okay.
Which he told we were supposed to register 62,813 people, but after the registration, we have 63,217.
So there's a deficit in there.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, please.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that, so it means that we did not get the actual number of persons registering.
No, they got the actual number of registered people, but then there were a lot of people that didn't register. Got a lot of new people turned 18 years, and they showed up to register. So because if you see the old register, they had 62,813, and right now we have 63,217 new electorates right now.
Okay, so so if I'm getting you clearly, you're not able to get the actual numbers of the stipulated persons registering. You got some, but I couldn't get all because we couldn't get people registering. So I'm asking this question: that how many police stations did this exercise take place in? As in this 2-day mop-up exercise?
This is a combination of Upper Dentra East.
Upper Dentra East.
Yes.
Okay. I'm listening to you.
Yes, please.
Go ahead. I can hear you, please.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so this 63,000 new registrants are actually the new combination of all the constituencies around Upper Dentra County.
Okay.
For only office of the EC. Okay, so this is what he's telling me right now.
Okay.
I have him in mind. I'll put him on the line and speak to him directly.
Okay, all right.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Minister. Good afternoon, my brother.
Yes. So talk to us, please. What is the total number of applicants that have registered so far?
Upper Dentra is.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Upper Dentra has 2 courses.
Okay.
Upper Dentra is.
Okay. Right.
Registered 3,217 new voters.
Okay. Okay. So let's look at the Upper Dentra West as well.
Yeah, Upper Dentra West is under different administration.
Okay. Okay. So like I was asking our correspondent earlier on, were we able to reach the stipulated number of persons that were supposed to register for this registration? Hello?
Yeah, we exceeded it.
You exceeded it.
Yeah, we've exceeded the number that we anticipated to be registered.
Okay, so this as a result of maybe 18-year-old persons who have been now introduced to the registration.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your time. So we have been speaking. Yes, we have been speaking to Afel Williams earlier on, who happens to be the Central Region correspondent for Pan-African Television, and they gave us an account of exactly what has transpired and emerged at the specific polling station for the 2-day EC mop-up exercise for the voter registration exercise. Now, moving on, the mass voter registration exercise by the Electoral Commission ended with a provisional 60 million plus potential voters registration across the country. Now, my colleague David Attor visited some registration registration centers in the Adenta municipality on the final day of the registration exercise to gauge the views of some stakeholders.
Of the mass registration exercise, and today marks the end of the process. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission says they will do a mop-up exercise commencing from Saturday through to Sunday. But we currently are in the Adentan municipality, precisely in the new Legon electoral area, to find out exactly how the process has been going so far. So you can see behind me the process, going on smoothly. It's just past 2 p.m. I'm sure the exercise will be going to a final close, the final chapter, in some few hours time. But meanwhile, so far so good. I'm reliably informed that the process has been very good here in this particular registration center. That is the Accountancy Registration Center. So we'll be speaking to some of the party agents. We'll be speaking to the assemblyman, also some of the the officials, to find out how the entire process has been so far. It's been from phase 1 through to phase 6. So we just want to find out exactly how the process has been within this particular electoral area. I'm informed that they have 13 polling centers, that's the registration centers, 13 so far in this particular electoral area, and thank God it's been smooth. Forget to say a little bit of skirmishes here and there. First of all, let's speak to the assembly. It's been 31 days, okay, of this mass registration exercise. What has been your observation so far?
Within my electoral area here, I think everything so far so good. Everything went successfully, and as you can see, we are continuing successfully. It's like it has been peaceful. Though from the beginning we have some hitches here and there, but we all sit down as a community and then solve it all.
The challenges, if you can share with us, moving on, what were some of the hiccups, the challenges, from day one to the final day? What can you share with us so that we move on from there?
Okay, initially we experienced long queue, and some centers only one machine. So you can just imagine a long queue and then with one machine. So sometimes they have to turn some people home.
We've all heard of violence, reports of alleged violence at certain areas. The violence, we talk about the performance of the Electoral Commission, but let's start with the violence. Did you report witness, or did you report any skirmishes?
In this NDC MPP issues came up, but it wasn't that serious. It wasn't that serious at all. Talking about the officers, we don't have any problem with them at all.
Let's look at the issues about the mode of the means we used to register. I'm talking about the various cards. Did you have any challenge, especially with the Ghana cards, the guarantee and all those things? Do you witness any of such challenges?
Not at all, because we educate our people very well that when you are coming, either you have the Ghana card or passport. If you don't have any of this, you just come with 2 people to come and guarantee you. Moving forward, we should include what we are doing now as part of a primary requirement. If there should be any in the future, if there should be any registration again, we should use those very registration cards as a primary document.
So away from that, some residents of Awoshi Mangwase in the Anyasotuom constituency of the Greater Accra region are calling on government to construct an overpass on the Awoshi Ablekuma Highway. Speaking on Pan-African News, the residents who demonstrated last week over damaged traffic lights on same stretch of the road wants a construction of an overpass to avert avoidable death. So welcome back from that break. If you're just joining, this is still the midday news on Pan-African television. My name is Abban. Now to our next story, a 35-year-old and poor widow in Saboba district in the northern region grieves with tears as she narrates her ordeal. She had at the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice Raj as she seeks the father of her granddaughter whose mother painless death occurred 4 months after delivery. Nyanyibe Magnokumi, whose daughter by name Nifonika in her teens age was in a secret relationship with one Mumuni Salome, a supposed businessman and father in the district capital of Saboba.
Mumun Suleimana is alleged to have impregnated the late Noforcha, and 4 months after her delivery, the late teenager was said to have been tortured and maltreated by her supposed husband. The maltreatment, according to the poor widow, forced her daughter to live with her paternal uncle, Ninkumpaya, since her biological father was no more, and to seek the intervention of his uncle into the matter. 3 days while with her uncle, the poor widow who lived outside her marital home received a distress call that her daughter was unconscious and was rushed to Assemblies of God Hospital in Saboba. Upon reaching the hospital, her daughter was pronounced dead, leaving a 4-month baby girl behind. The late teenager was suspected to have taken in liquids suspected to be poison, but no autopsy was conducted according to close relatives of the deceased. Mumuni Suleimana, according to the deceased mother, abandoned the 4-month baby after her death. After 2 years of struggle to cater for her granddaughter, the poor widow thought it wise to search for the father of her granddaughter.
When my daughter grew up, she was dating Suleimana, who impregnated her. I don't know what happened, and she came back to her father's house after she gave birth. Later on, my husband's brother told the elders that my daughter's mother-in-law said, in the Moshi tradition, because my daughter was suspected of having an affair with Suleimana and his uncle, they will buy a fowl and kill for rituals for my daughter to die. But I don't know if they have killed the fowl or not. And my daughter didn't tell me anything. They asked who was present when she was saying that, and my husband's brother said my son, but he said no, he wasn't there either. But my daughter took her drug in her uncle's room and was taken to the hospital where she died. And I'm now taking care of my granddaughter, thinking that Suleimana will come for her, but he didn't. I can't be taking care of a child without the father, so I decided to report the case to Shrag.
In our grand investigations, necessary documents in our possession, such as birth certificate and child health records, all bears the name Mumuni Suleimana. On June 16, 2020, the widow took to the office of Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, in Saboba, together with the documents to lodge a complaint against Mumuni Suleimana. The commission then pre-notified Suleimana and waited 2 weeks before inviting both parties to their office on June 30, 2020, which was signed on behalf of the director by Bigema Prosper, a staff of the commission. Shraj subsequently invited the two parties involved.
So away from that, the opinion leaders of Adjengano in Accra have cautioned governments over abandoning roads and flyover construction work that started in the area after the elections in December. The leader who said a working visit, the leader who paid a working visit to the construction site to pray for smooth start of the project were grateful to the government for commencement of work on the link road between Medina and Tishin with the flyover at Adjengano, and prayed that the project be completed and commissioned for the use of the people in the area.
Government has awarded the link road from Medina to Teshi to a Chinese construction company with Oswald Construction, a Ghanaian company building the flyover with a runabout beneath at Adringano here in Accra. The Wolomo of Adringano, Nyumbo Aiku Wolomo IV, expressed his joy over the project and asked that government do not abandon the project after they have lost or won the election in December.
Nyumbo Aiku Wolomo the fourth. The new chant down over Shushin. Nani Modenche, Ebelegbe, our friend Ake, down over Shushin, offering you money Belegbe, and Wake, Obafi, Nishin, Ajo, Ehale, Koni, Rude, Bafi, Kaja Teshin, Kebaho, Kaja Americas, Kebao Keta Shaman, the friend, Ninofia, Nafi, here, nowhere, accident. For by a beer near one accident here, Sanu Wabaji, a dear, couldn't have found half a friend, a hammer, couldn't have back a jingle ma, because that African fear accident bar, African fear accident bar, beer, and they can run about in there. No one I can let a Kufado, Engbe, and honey, when a Guinea, a fair ruder king, how couldn't have found a feel for or walk away wale, but Pierre Kufado say, get on free say. Koni amenye ametuni koni no fa no afi fan yawo koni won ma ani na gbe koni ka abi wesh na ache wo che islegon wo che ajiran oji mo ade nche wo islegon na de Nigeria bi e ba wo gbe yawo bo eja ba wo gbe yawo shiwo ma bi e ba wo gbe ake ajiran no ni run about e ba sumo hu ni run about egbe ni baba ajiran no run about koni no fa no afi fan no an ko ba na me bi e ba yin pa ni shin ajo koni chumo na ma atu efo maniawo ni jo mani na o ke obi wala se kele won e amofia mo ni elia ke ni chumo na ya no ni jiwo ma hin ni oleko ni elia ke chumo na ya no mo fia mo asebe ma wo mpio mo fia mo obi wala ke jo mo ha me.
Other elders who spoke to Pan-African News said they have asked for the project for ages and are grateful the current government has heeded their cry.
We say we are here to pour liberation for Humphrey. He's come to do a road for us. So we are thanking him and we thank President and we thank all honorables in Ghana. We thank them because we requested this thing for long. So we thank them that they have been here and come and do what we need for us. Yeah, the finder is Honorable Yabuabi Asamoah and Honorable Ni Odai Aku, Assemblyman. That is called Assemblyman, Honorable Ni Odai Boy. And the road is going to benefit us because we can join the road to Accra, we can join the road to Atama, we can join the road to Teshi because we from Teshi and settle Ajiringano. So the road will benefit, we as a person, the road will benefit us from here to Teshi. So that be our all that is we need for ourselves.
Any other thing you want to tell government?
Yes, we just tell government that we appreciate him, that he's come to do our road for us. Second, we have been requested this road is long time ago, but we thank him that he's come to do our road for us. So we give him more morale to long life and more morale to come and finish everything for us. That is our request. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for the whole Ghana and then foreigners. Thank you.
The project is expected to be completed in July 2021.
So away from that, the President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has directed the Minister for Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, to engage the Ghana Education Service to reconsider the punishment meted out to the 14 senior high school students taking the 2020 West African Senior Examination.
The Ghana Education Service last week dismissed some final year students, numbering 14, who took part in the chaos and destruction of properties in their schools after the integrated science paper 2 of the ongoing WASI. They were also banned from taking the rest of the papers in the final year examination. The Ghana Education Service in a statement said the punishment was to serve as deterrent to other students who are still partaking in the exams. But a statement issued on Sunday, August 9, 2020 by the Director of Communications at the Office of the Presidency, Eugene Ahins, said, even though the acts of indiscipline by the students are intolerable, the President is of the view that the dismissal alone is enough punishment. Before the statement from the Presidency, various institutions and individuals, including a former Deputy Minister for Education, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has said the Ghana Education Service was too harsh in the punishment given to the 14 students. The Member of Parliament for North Tongue indicated that although the acts of indiscipline and vandalism are condemnable, the Ghana Education Service seems to have killed an ant with a sledgehammer.
All right, so let's go for a quick break. We return shortly after this. Stay with us.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Breakfast good day,
Every day.
every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Oh, it's incredible! Bang on target!
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. If you're just joining, this is the Midday News on Pan-African Television. My name is Abban. Now to our next story. Now the Northern Regional Chapter for the Opposition National Democratic Congress on Saturday, 8 August 2020, inaugurated the party's 2020 campaign team. The campaign team, which was inaugurated at colorful events, is made up of distinguished party activists with diverse intellect and experienced men and women to help the party win power come December 7th, 2020.
Personalities who made it to the list includes NDC 2004 presidential running mate and 3 times MP for Kumbungu constituency, Honorable Mohamed Mumuning, Veteran legislator for Pandai constituency Honorable Teria Lekpalimo, versatile and influential politician and contemporary Ghanaian politics and minority leader Honorable Haruna Idrisu, together with Professor Abdullahi Salifu, former Director General of CSIR, and Dr. Abdul Nashiru Isaka, former Governor of Bank of Ghana, are among the prominent personalities in the team. The committee is being chaired by Alhaji A. Ibrahim Mobila as the chairman and the regional secretary Mohammed Abdul Salam as chief scribe to the group. The inauguration was done by Ambassador Victor Smith, a member of a national campaign team, supported by Comrade Kobe Ballon on behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear. Do in the name of the Almighty God swear. That I will at all times. Well and truly serve the National Democratic Congress. Well and truly serve the National Democratic Congress. As a member of the Bono East Regional Campaign Team. As a member of the Bono East Regional Campaign Team. And that I would uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. Of the National Democratic Congress. As by law established. So help me. We are faced with executing a rescue mission to alleviate hardship and suffering. It is a rescue mission to halt the corruption and collapse of our democratic institutions and restore hope and confidence in the future. The future of Ghana is in our hands. Only by working together and by the grace of God can we be worthy of our destiny and victorious at the polls. We are confident that we have a winning approach. I would like to talk about this approach, which is supported by three main messaging pillars. One, the first pillar is the legacy of the NDC, its experience, and the many noteworthy achievements of my previous administration in health, education, infrastructure, transport, power, and more. Let us not forget that the NDC remains the most successful political party in the history of Ghana. We have won 4 out of the 7 presidential elections since the advent of the Fourth Republic. With the support of Ghanaians and your selfless hard work and talents, we will win our election in 2020.
Other members include Honorable Moses Mebandba, Emmanuel Kuyoli, Dr. Wumbe Abubakari, Honorable Mohammed Ibn Abbas, Honorable Dr. Yakubu Salifu, former MP for the area, Dr. Yakubu A. Yakubu, who is a research fellow, Hajia Azara Mahamayogu, Hajia Fozia Mahama, and Charity John Mahama. Honorable Mohammed Mumuni, in an acceptance speech on behalf of the campaign team, promised to work harder to deliver victory for the NDC in the region and described the team as the best with the requisite knowledge and experience for the task.
Some health story. Now, broccoli, a green vegetable that vaguely resembles a miniature tree. It belongs to the plant species known as Brassica oleracea. It is closely related to cabbage, Brussels, sprouts, cauli, and cauliflower.
Broccoli is a rich source of multiple vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Different cooking methods may affect the vegetable's nutrient composition, but broccoli is a healthy addition to your diet, whether cooked or raw. Broccoli contains multiple potent antioxidants that may support healthy cells and tissues throughout your body. It also contains several bioactive compounds that demonstrate an anti-inflammatory effect in animal and test tube studies. Multiple studies have shown that cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli may have a cancer preventative effect. Eating broccoli may lower blood sugar and improve diabetes control. Research also indicates that broccoli may help reduce various heart disease risk factors and prevent heart tissue damage. Broccoli provides an excellent source of vitamin C, a nutrient known to support healthy immune response. Many of the nutrients in broccoli, including calcium, vitamin K, and phosphorus, are necessary for maintaining healthy bones. Additionally, research indicates that certain antioxidants in broccoli may prevent some joint disorders.
Alright, so away from that, a solemn crime scene of a burnt-out vehicle in Niger, where it is reported that gunmen murdered eight people yesterday, 6 of whom were French national, amongst which acted. A French humanitarian non-governmental organization has confirmed its staff members.
Amongst the deceased was a drive and cadre, a local guide and the president of the Kuru Giraffe Guides Association, as the attack occurred east of Kuri, which is about an hour drive from the capital, Niamey, and within proximity to the popular tourist attraction, the Kuru Giraffe Reserve. Although the identities of the perpetrators are still under speculation, terrorist groups such as Boko Haram operate in the area, and the threat of military violence linked to Al-Qaeda and other Islamic extremists has been on the rise in the Sahel region. Despite the current volatile climate in the area over recent years, many terrorists still visit to see the popular giraffes specific to Niger, a subspecies distinguished by its lighter color, which settled there around 20 years ago and have been largely protected from the poachers. The French government, however, advises against travel to large parts of Niger. France has been leading a coalition of West African and European allies against Islamist militants in the region.
Now let's do some more local stories. Now the Ministry of Justice in Malawi has decided to impose strict precautionary measures in order to curb the perceived alarming spike in COVID-19 cases in the country. The COVID-19 cases in Malawi have almost doubled in the past 4 weeks.
It is now mandatory for all to wear masks in public spaces. Places of worship, restaurants, and bars are closed, with only takeaway sales being permitted for drinking establishments. Public gatherings of greater than 10 people are prohibited with the exception of funerals which can have up to 50 people in attendance. Justice Minister Chikosa Salungwe stated that an army of control has been hired to enforce these new sanitary regulations. The Malawian government attempted a lockdown back in April, but as no financial bailout packages were made available to the most destitute of the population, these initial efforts were quickly thwarted in the court. Since the first case of coronavirus appeared in Malawi on April 2, 2020, the nation has confirmed a total of 4,624 cases and 143 deaths as of August 9. The Minister of Information, Gospel Kazako, expressed concern about the increase in the number of coronavirus cases in the country.
So that's all we have for you on our local front. Up next is business. Now on our business front, an international rating agency, Global Credit Rating Agency, has upgraded Fidelity Bank's Ghana National Scale Long-Term Rating from 1 negative to A and short-term rating from A2 to A1 with a stable outlook.
In a press release announcing the upgrade of the bank, the rating agency indicated that Fidelity's business profile was positive, supported by its above-average distribution network, good spread of local geographic diversification, adequate capitalization and stable funding structure. According to the report, Fidelity Bank Ghana's risk position is sound, balancing the probability of asset quality deterioration due to the COVID-19 related economic shock and modest oil prices, and the better-than-market course non-performing loans. The bank recorded a regulatory NPL ratio of 2.1% at the 31st March 2020, better than its competitors and against the industry average of 14.5%. According to GECR, Fidelity Bank was adequately capitalized, forecasting a capital ratio of between 23% and 25% over the next 12 to 18 months. GECR also noted that Fidelity's funding structure was very stable and broad, comparable to other top-tier banks in Ghana, with retail deposits accounting for 60% of the customer deposits. In response to the upgrade announcement by the GCR, Managing Director of Fidelity Bank Julian Opuni said the international ratings upgrade and recognition reflects and confirms the confidence and continued support of our loyal customers.
Now some more stories in business. As part of the measures to reach out to larger consumers with products and services in the wake of COVID-19, Vodafone Ghana has partnered the National Board for Small-Scale Industries to leverage technology for their sustainability. There's more to the story.
Vodafone is expected to provide a digital platform to promote products and services of micro, small and medium enterprises and small and medium scale enterprises after they had developed business ideas. Chief Executive Officer of Vodafone Ghana, Mrs. Patricia Obonai, at a webinar series indicated that the telecom company support dubbed Vodafone Business Runaway is the partner mobile money operator for the disbursement of a 600 million Ghana cedis to MSMEs allocated by the government of Ghana after the introduction of a coronavirus alleviation program to the NBSSI. Many organizations, he said, were finding effective ways to digitally transform their competitiveness by reinventing back-office processes, speeding up the supply chain and other human resource services using technology. She said all these were to win in the current dispensation and lead their respective industries in order not to be left behind. She encourages SMEs to embrace and adopt modern trends to become a digitalized ready business with more options to substantially increase business growth and productivity.
So that's all we have for you at our business front. Up next is international stories. Let's do some international stories. Well, on August 4th, the Portuguese Communist Party condemns the dismissal of about 1,000 public school workers a month and a half before the opening of the academic year. In its statement, PCP has questioned the government's unacceptable promotion of redundancies of public school workers who should have been integrated for a long time and now see their contracts elapsed.
The National Federation of Unions of Workers in Public and Social Functions has registered a strong protest against the redundancies in public schools. Such redundancies are taking place in Portugal, while reports have already stated that there is an imminent risk of lack of professionals in schools in the next school year. An article published in Avesto Interior said that there are 12,000 teachers with risk diseases that may have to miss classes next school year due to COVID-19. The situation is expected to affect all school groups. In a statement, FNST FPS said that the government is dismissing more than 1,000 non-teaching workers from public schools with fixed-term employment contracts signed in 2017. Here, once again, the government, for more reasons of budgetary restraint linked to the municipalization of a public school, chooses to fire instead of solving the problem with the recruitment of these workers with an open-ended contract. It must be emphasized that what is at stake is not the legality of the process, but rather the lack of political will for the integration of these workers. Government could have done so and is still in time to do so until 31st August, the date when fixed-term contracts expire. The Ministry of Education knew that in August 2020, the term contract of these workers would expire, but deliberately did nothing in this time to end the precariousness under the Federation. Earlier, members from the PCP had raised the issue of school workers in the last regimental hearing of a legislative session. Legislators from the left bloc have raised concerns about the risk group professionals, including both teachers and non-teaching staff in school in the coming school year.
Some more stories in international. The movement Génie Communiste de France has demanded accessibility to medically assisted procreation for all sections in need, including married women, single women, Lebanese couple and transgender community. MJCF has welcomed the French National Assembly's second round approval for the bioethnic bill on August 1st, which includes provision for extension of MAP services to single women and Lebanese couples. Let's move to the story.
Earlier, the MAP facilities were allowed only for the heterosexual couples, but even now, the National Assembly didn't approve the demand for the extension of MAP services to members from the transgender community. According to reports, the bill was approved in its second reading with the backing of 60 MPs from the French President Emmanuel Macron's La République in March, the Democratic Movement, La France, and the La France Communist Party. The bill was opposed by 37 MPs, mainly from the Republicans and the UDI. Following the vote, MJCF has stated that for nearly a decade, and against the backdrop of successive unfulfilled promises, thousands of women have been waiting to be able to achieve their parental project. Finally, female couples and single women have the right to have recourse to medically assisted procreation under the same conditions as for heterosexual couples. The assisted reproduction will, in fact, be fully reimbursed by Social Security. However, equal access to assisted reproduction is still not complete. Its access to transgender people was rejected by the Assembly. The movement of the Young Communists of France, mobilized so that the MAP is open to all, will continue to pursue its fight for equality, added MJCF. The Bioethics Bill, approved in its first reading at the National Assembly in October 2019 and passed in the Senate in January 2020, has already ignited much debates and ideological conflicts in the French society. The liberal, left, feminist sections have been calling for the immediate passing of the bill, while the far-right, conservative groups, including a section of the Catholic Church, has been pessimistic on the bill and called out that the French government is showing an unnecessary urgency to approve the bill in the National Assembly. The opponents of the bill, including La Manif pour Tout, the Strike for All, whose members are seeking to protect traditional conception, has organized protest demonstrations earlier in France.
So that's all for our international stories. Up next, sports with comrade Eve Edwards.